Braden, can you do your line again?
Hit him with the remix.
You're listening to another Woodshop podcast, the okayest podcast of its type. Your hosts are Daniel Dunlap of Daniel Dunlap Woodworks, Peter Kapar of Petrie's Workshop, and Braden Boakes of Little Bug Woodworking. You can find them as well as the podcast on your favorite social media channels.
Welcome to episode 217 of Another Woodshop podcast, where this week we're joined by Braden's old boss and a fellow maker in the community. She is the best host, both past and present, of an online audio-visual talk show experience called Sawdust Talk, and arguably one of the most likable people in the maker community, smiling her way into seemingly every event under the sun. Please help me welcome Jessie Riggs from Building Jessie. Woo!
Hello. Ow.
What's up?
Ouch.
Do you want some lotion for that burn, Braden?
I want the
That
lotions
was
for
one-
the skins.
That was one long stab at Braden. I love it.
God, that
I'm here for it.
That was a full run through. That's what that was.
I'm here for it.
We call it a runza in New Jersey.
Hey, you watch it.
Pocket.
Speaking of hot pockets, Dan?
Our patrons,
Yeah.
gentlemen and lady,
The hottest of pockets.
we we got a few new patrons this week. Big shout out to David Mertes. Sorry if I butchered your name, David. And Brock Person. There's two S's there, so you got to pronounce both S's.
Like the gym leader from Pokemon? Brock?
That dude rocks.
Sorry, Dan. I didn't mean to throw
You're
you off.
too old, man. I'm sorry. You're
Pokemon. Yeah.
You're doing great.
Speaking of Pokemon, let's talk about our VIP patrons, I guess.
yeah.
Gotta catch 'em all.
Gotta catch them all.
Gotta catch them all. I get that actually for some reason. Our VIP patrons, big shout out to Mike over at Woodwork and Weld, Jake Miller from A Sweet Shop. Double check your Maker Camp Airport ticket.
Braden.
Alex Adams.
He wasn't even here for that.
Hey,
He listens
he's-
back.
he knows things and he's well educated. John Herbolsheimer from Living Lath Woodworks, Luke Bosworth at LJB Makes, Jared LaPuma from LL Builds, Tyler Booth over at Temecula Yard Games, Henry Lutens from Manfreda Wood, Scotty from Elevated Wood Design, Charlie Coons at Stubby K Studio, Justin Frazier from Frazier Canyon Woodworks, Sarah at Rosie's Wood Shop, Michael at Gillette Woodworks, Itty Bitty Ditty Committee Karaoke Club, that is Maker's Way, Whim Designs, thank you, Victor, Camper Camp, it's gotta be Nick Brim Woodworking, obviously, Max and Lissa Reed at Reed Design Co., Matt Maynard at Patriotic Pines, Bill Burkle at WTB Woodworking. Every time I'm doing this, I have to swallow all the saliva that builds up in my mouth while I'm reading this. I don't know why that's a thing.
Don't worry, we'll take
Anyway.
this all out in post.
All right, great. Where did I leave off? Bill Burkle at WTB Woodworking, Jake Coneen at Dobby's Craft House, Knit Brim Yarn Works, fine handcrafted wool underwear for those who like to treat their undercarriage right. That is obviously Patrick Ginsel.
How many characters do they get now?
All the characters.
More than Twitter. I'm sorry, X.
Ed Mancini. No, it will forever be Twitter. Don't.
The twatter.
That's water.
Ed Mancini at Mancini Woodworking, Chris at Chris Will Make, Scott Shirk, Red Leg Custom Woodworks, Max and Minnie Coons at Stubby K Studio, The Beast, Justin Bailey from Campfire Woodworks, and Kyle over at Four Nance's Design Co. Yo, if you want to join the AWP Meh Army, you can go over to patreon.com/anotherwoodshop podcast and get signed up over there. We couldn't do what we do on a weekly basis without all our patrons. So thank you.
Dare I say, we probably couldn't do it on a monthly basis even.
I was gonna say we barely do it with them.
Yeah.
True.
Well, we also want to give a huge shout out and a thank you to one of our favorite people in the community, Hamilton Dilbeck, the founder of CNC With Me, the sponsor of this week's episode. And just like we had a couple months ago, we had Christmas in July. There was a huge event. We are about to get into Make-Temberfest. Sorry, I always say Make-Toberfest. Make-Temberfest. And it's going to be a whole month of special files, promotions, extra posts on their website, CNC With Me, where Dan, you're a member still, right?
Correct. I'm a founding member.
Founder. Hamilton wouldn't be here without Dan, in part. Yeah,
I wouldn't be here without Hamilton.
That actually checks out as well. But there is hundreds of files available. Actually, at this point, probably thousands of files available. And it has its own community behind it. So obviously you can get, business webinars. There's a supportive community through the site. You get tons of projects, and he's constantly adding more projects to that. If you ever run into an issue, they have a community and a forum that you can talk with other people and try to figure out, where your files might not be working right. And if you have any trouble with any of the files, there's a help desk. And fun fact, that's a great way to get in touch with Hamilton because he answers all the questions through the help desk. He's going to help you out with all your speeds and feeds, all your tutorials, all your tool paths. And they also have themed contests every couple of months, depending on the event that they're doing. And right now in a couple of weeks or in a week,
days,
in a couple of hours, dare I say, for Make-Tember, they're going to be doing a special event. We're going to get all the details very soon from Hamilton. So make sure to sign up so that you get all that stuff, and you can currently get 3 months free if you sign up for the year. So, get that annual access. You can save yourself some money, and it's definitely worth it because if you're doing any kind of vendor events for the end of the year through the holidays, you're pretty much set. You don't have to make a single file. Dan?
If you are trying to monetize your CNC, this community is for you. It is very focused on helping their members monetize their CNC. So it's worth checking out for sure.
Dare I say, Make-Tember is the Toyota-thon of the maker community.
Literally that.
That's what it is.
I approve. Yeah.
By the way, I love the way they market when you're like at the checkout for the pricing. It says join today for less than, and it's like 6 rolls of double-sided tape. Join for less than 2 gallons of glue or 1 sheet of Baltic birch, because like it really puts the prices in perspective here.
Nice.
So yeah, definitely go sign up, check that out. But today, the star of the show is Braden's old boss. The only reason that his previous audio experience show that he was on was a success, it's Jessie from Building Jessie. Now, I've seen you do everything from welding to demolition to rebuilding a house to going to all these different events that you're really killing it lately. But for those of us that don't know who you are, that have never heard of you, the few people, can you give us a quick, who the hell do you think you are? Give us a quick spiel, the elevator pitch. Go.
Oh, geez. Elevator pitch. I'm Jessie and I'm building myself. I basically do whatever needs to be done. I was saying earlier today, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing half the time, but if I don't know how to do it, I'll figure it out.
Including, and not limited to, crawling into a turtle cave. I've seen
Face
this.
first.
I heard you got stuck and you were never seen again, but here you are.
Okay, but I didn't get stuck. I went in and the turtle did the,
attack pose,
legs in, and it hissed. It made a hissing sound, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's gonna attack me!" So yeah, Hannah did have to pull me out of a turtle den in California, and I did survive.
Barely.
Better a
Just-
turtle den than an opium den. I always say, right?
That's right.
Well, there's also another part of your venture that not a lot of people might know about, and that is Riggs Ranch.
What?
Oh my gosh, that's old school.
But listen, even today you were doing a story, and I heard some animals in the background. So clearly, it's not a goner. So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I mean, if you're like an OG follower of mine, you know that my page used to be called the Riggs Ranch. And that's because when I started, I was remodeling my old house and I was building stuff for my farm. So, I mean, I've had goats, I've had a llama, I've had pigs, I had chickens, ducks, dogs, cats. I've had all the animals, all the farm
Beards.
animals, beards, and I now have a beard. I'm gonna keep that one, I think. But yeah, no, I mean, I started building stuff more for like my farm and stuff, and then I realized that woodworking and working with hardwoods and slabs and stuff was really fun. So
But you still have the farm or the animals? Some animals?
I do. I have 2 pet pigs. I started out with 2 meat pigs and realized that they're really cute and sweet and smart, and I love them, but I wasn't gonna have like 2 500-pound hogs. So I got 2 little pigs now that live with me, Phil and Abbott, and they're super sweet and they do tricks and circles and sit, and I love them. But yeah, I have at this point now I have 2 pigs, I have 8 chickens, a rooster, 3 ducks, a few cats, and 3 dogs.
It seems really wild that the city would zone your property for that many animals because you live in a pretty big city. So
It's huge. It's massive.
big city Jesse.
Big
You
city
guys are going to
girl.
have to fill me in on this Big City Jesse joke because you guys were doing this on IG and I have no idea what you're talking about.
Braden, fill them in.
Jesse lives in a town of like 8. So it's
Oh,
funny.
really?
That's
Okay.
it. That's
So
as
it's
far
all
as that joke
sarcasm.
really
And for
Got
goes.
it.
tax
All
purposes,
right.
she's 3 of those.
Yeah.
That's her, no, right on.
She's got to drive to the next town over to get a mailbox.
I have a
Goodness.
mailbox in my town. I just don't have a mailbox at my house. So I think
Oh
that's
my.
I kind of think that's how this started. I was talking about how annoying it is to have stuff shipped to me. Because if I talk to a company, I have to be like, how are you shipping this? Are you going USPS? Because if it's USPS, it has to go to my PO box, which is like a short walk down the road.
County
3
over.
towns over.
Or if it's going UPS or FedEx or whatever else, then it has to come straight to my house. But I do not physically have a mailbox at my house.
Damn.
Interesting.
So it
Big city.
must be complicated for sponsorships.
It is.
It is, yeah. Because
Ask-
I've been in a situation where they were like, "Yeah, we don't do PO boxes." I'm like, how do you not ship to a PO box?
It's literally shipping to a PO box is literally just taking one step out of the whole process.
Yeah,
It just
it
doesn't have
really
to leave
is.
the post office.
It's just a giant Laguna laser. Like it's a pallet. Drop it at the PO box. What's the problem?
Drop it on the post office desk. Here.
I don't think Dolores can handle it. But so sorry, I was gonna say, like, give us the origin story. Like, so how did you get started? You had the farm, you started making stuff. Like, when did it click that you were like, oh, I'm gonna start doing this as like an extra little income? And then when did the content come into play?
So 2018, my page has been around for a long time. I mean, started as the Riggs Ranch, obviously. And I just and like if you go all the way back in my page, it's like old school Instagram where was actually like posting pictures. Braden is gonna look it up right now.
Oh, I'm already
He's gonna
doing it.
embarrass
I've been scrolling for the last 3
I've been at
minutes.
the bottom for like an hour.
But yeah, no, I was like making a sign for my Instagram and I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. I like this. And then I got some tools. I think the big thing for me was when my ex-husband talked me into buying a CNC machine from it wasn't even Avid CNC at the time. It was called CNC Router Parts.
Oh, I remember that actually.
Oh, gee.
So he was like, "Oh yeah, I want to get this machine. I can do plasma, like metal work with it. And we can get like a router part for it too, and you can do like your slabs and stuff." And I had a little deal worked out with a friend of mine who has a sawmill, so I was like flattening slabs for him. But when we set up that CNC machine, my ex-husband never touched it because I took over. Um, so it turned into my machine and I still have it today. I had to get new stickers that say Avid CNC instead of CNC router parts. But yeah, I think that was the big turning point. I was like, I really like this and I'm gonna buy some more tools. And
That's usually how it works.
How big is
Yeah.
your shop now?
my shop is like the size of a 2-car garage.
Okay.
It's the size of at least one 4x8 CNC.
Yeah. The CNC takes up like at least a quarter of it. So
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's-
Respectable.
Riggs Ranch. Are these
Yeah,
hats?
I'm
Are
looking
these
at
hats
the-
still available?
Very first
that was a
post.
one-off.
all right.
That was a one-off, but I still have it.
Is this still available? Well, that's awesome. So you got into that, and I mean, I've definitely seen you like over the years. Like you've done epoxy work. You've done the one where you put two metal
Ooh,
bolts into a piece of wood
the
and
dangerous
lightning
stuff.
through it. The spicy electricity. I've seen you do like resin signs. I've seen you do demolition on homes, welding, slabbing. I feel like you've kind of handled everything, and I mean this in the nicest way because I'm the same way. You're kind of on in everything. You're all over the place. You're in every genre. You don't like just niche down. You're like, hey, I'm a badass. I can do everything. So how did you just kind of get to that point? Or did you have an origin story? Was your dad just like into every kind of making, or you just picked it up over the years?
Well, my dad actually taught me everything I know about like home renovation and stuff. So the first house that I bought with my ex was a total fixer-upper. We didn't even live in that house for like 3 months. We were remodeling it from like the ground up. We moved walls, we did tile flooring, we moved some walls, we did drywall, we did an arch. I refinished the hardwood floors in that house. So my dad was he's a man of all trades kind of thing. So
Jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades, yeah.
A master of some.
Yeah, master of none. I feel like that's me though. I'm like a master of none. I'm like, this needs to get done. I'll figure it out. If I don't know how, I'll figure it out. So, but yeah, my dad kind of got me into the home renovations part, and I realized how much money you can save doing that. So I was like, this is cool. I don't super enjoy doing home renovation stuff. I would rather be in the workshop, but things like having an almost 11-year-old and needing a new bedroom, now I'm doing more home renovation stuff. So that's fun.
Yeah, I hate to break it to you. If you would prefer not to do the home renovation stuff, you're doing an awful job of focusing on not home renovation stuff. So tell us about your house.
My house?
What's the HGTV working title of your house renovation?
It's This Old House. Can I say that on here?
You might have to pay some royalties out.
Yeah. We're gonna have to bleep that out.
F
This aged house.
It's called F This Old House.
Oh,
And
okay, you can say that.
Instagram does me dirty though. Every time I do an episode, because there was a point in time on Instagram where I was like, oh, everything I do has to be PG if I want to work with brands and blah, blah, blah. But I found that being more authentic and being yourself makes people like you a little bit more. So
Definitely.
when I finally just was like, you know what, fuck this old house, people were like, oh my gosh, I love that.
Whoa.
So you can bleep that later. Sorry, Braden.
No one's bleeping anything in post.
Seems like a lot of work.
A lot of work.
But yeah, that series came about. I mean, my house is kind of one of those old, God, I don't know. I think it was like 1930s or something. So it's basically a house that was built onto and then built onto again and then built onto again and built onto again. And the people that did the work along the way don't actually know what the hell they're doing. So I get to fix all their issues and all their problems. So I have had rotten floor joists and rotten the walls and water
Oof.
leaks that never got fixed. And it's been super fun. I love it. Ask the beard. He'll tell
I
you.
feel your pain. My first house was built in 1920. It was awful.
That's too old.
You guys in
That's
these
awful.
pre-war houses.
Which war?
Yes, the wars.
The war.
My house is from 1999. It's pre-war technically.
No, yours is pre-conflict.
Are you saying that Afghanistan doesn't count? Are we talking politics again, Braden? Stop.
No, I'm just saying
No.
technically none of them are called wars. They're called conflicts.
Oh, conflicts.
For tax purposes.
We just needed some oil.
Freed oil.
Jeez.
Okay, so you've been working on the house. You're doing maker events. So what kind of maker events have you been? I mean, we met at Maker Camp, or not Maker Camp. We met at Workbench Con.
Yep.
Way too late. We killed Frank that night. That was the best night.
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. So what kind of events are you going to? You just recently went to one.
Yep. This year, this year has been crazy. I feel like I haven't like posted nearly enough about anything that I've been doing. But I mean, Braden, well, you guys were there too, in California for Maker's St. Jude. That was awesome. I can't wait for next year for that because I just think it's going to keep getting bigger. And I just love having a maker event that's not like 8 hours of travel for me. So that was super fun.
West Coast time.
West Coast time. I think I know that time zone. And then Muck was the other one, and Muck was amazing. I can't
is
say
Muck?
enough.
Oh, yeah.
Maker's Ultimate Challenge.
There we go.
That was the one put on by Izzy and Maggie Swan.
Yep, Izzy and Maggie put that on. Is basically an event to raise awareness for the skilled trades. And I'm doing more with that. More of like women in the trades kind of thing. So there's more going on behind the scenes when it comes to that, but there's going to be more muck events, and they're going to get bigger. So I'm excited about that. And for
Cool.
next year with that.
Now, was your team purely selected on length of hair, including beard hair?
That was funny because I was on a call with Izzy, we were talking about teams, and there were some people coming that he didn't know quite as well. So I was like, oh no, that person would be really good with this person, and this is how this person is, and just like knowing people's personalities and stuff.
You got put at the kids' table?
No, he was like, oh no, we're gonna do a power couple. And I'm like, I feel like it's more of like the hair group because we all just have like so much hair. So
If anyone that's confused, she was on a team with Pat and Carlina and Beard, and everyone has like
Oh, good Lord.
belly length hair or back length hair, but either in the front or the back.
That's too much hair. What if hair got into the project?
well, did you see our reel?
I did.
It was all hair.
We had to we did the hair flip, and then we all had to like put our hair up. So the beard,
Oh, I didn't see that.
did his like beard twist thing where he ties it in a knot, and Pat and Carlene and I had to like put our hair in buns.
Team big hair, big energy.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've been seeing it at a lot of maker events. Maybe it's just because it's so like I've seen you at every Workbench Con, or at least the last two. Like I've seen you there, and you were at Maker Camp last year as well.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yes, she was. I remember that.
And then you were at Muck now, which is a new one. So bummed because of the baby. Dang it, I wasn't able to make it.
Not even born and ruining your
I
life.
know, ruining it. I'm kidding. No, I love this kid. But I feel like you've been at a lot of events. Is there some other events that you've been at that you've been invited to? Because I feel like you're very likable. People tend to just be like, oh, she'd be great. Like, you do it all and you're in everything. And again, I mean this in like a nice way because we're the same way, the three of us. We're loud. We're all loud personalities online. We might not post all the time, but we will do stories daily because we have no hobbies aside from our jobs. So is there other stuff that's on a horizon or that you've done that maybe wasn't as advertised?
I have a few things kind of like going in the background right now, which is kind of exciting. I feel like I'm on a social media hiatus right now, though. I haven't been posting a lot of videos and stuff. I'm actually between jobs, not between. I actually have 2 jobs right now, which is ridiculous, but
that's the opposite of between. That's
right.
That's like double-deckering jobs.
Okay, well, I took a job. Coming back from Muck. I got a phone call. Well, not a phone call, a message from owner of a local construction company, and they asked if I would be interested in a position, and met with them. The position is kind of like basically doing what I do for myself right now, which is insane. So I was like, I'll entertain this. But it's basically social media marketing. And they offered me more money than I make now, and I can work from home and wherever I want. So I took that job.
Yeah, why not?
Smart.
But also,
did you forget to tell the current job? You forgot, didn't you?
No, I told them, but I was already on the schedule for the month of August. So I was like, I'll work out August. And then I do love my job. Like, I love oral surgery. Like, I love what I do. So I didn't want to leave my boss high and dry. I was like, whatever you need. Obviously don't want to like leave on bad terms. Like, I could do this other job for a year and decide I hate it and want to go back. So, never leave a job on bad terms, FYI, if you didn't already know that. But
it's too late for that.
I was gonna say either that or you have to really commit to it.
It's like breaking up with a girl at a bus stop and then your bus isn't there yet.
Wow, you said that from experience.
Yeah,
that
what a
weird.
weirdly specific example.
I got broken up with at a bus stop.
Oh no! You did? Oh no!
And then we waited for the bus.
That's awkward.
I know. I was there.
I could top that, but I won't get into it.
Oh no, we're all sad.
I'm not sad. This is hilarious.
I know.
I'm so happy.
So funny.
This explains why you react so poorly around buses.
This is how I know where Emma is in the podcast, because she'll walk over to me and be like, you got broken up with at a bus?
Are you okay? Do you need a hug?
Pete has bus PTSD.
What's funny is one of my
BTSD
or friends or whatever in high school, like that happened to her, and I was like, that's crazy. And then it happened to me. I was like, God damn it, son of a.
I can't wait to make the AWP t-shirt that just says BTSD and has a picture of a bus on it. And Pete's gonna hate it. I found our Maker Camp shirts.
I want one this year.
I'm gonna bankrupt you with shirts of me. But yeah, we also, we saw you in California a couple months ago too for the Makers for St. Jude surf prep event. So I feel like you've just been everywhere lately. But so what's coming up? You're gonna be at Maker Camp this year, right?
Heck yeah.
You got it. It's kind of out of your hands, right? Any plans for BenchCon?
Not yet.
Yeah. I feel like we all decide like the week after Maker Camp when we're riding the high, we're all like, yeah, we're going. We gotta see them. Right?
Yeah, WorkbenchCon. I mean, I love it. It was my first event that I ever went to, like maker event, where I kind of fell in love with just being with people, being with the makers in the community. But it's expensive. It's not a cheap thing to go to WorkbenchCon. So
cheaper if you buy next year's ticket the week after this year's event.
It's still expensive.
It's still like 47 charcuterie boards worth.
It's really pricey, and it's a bummer because like I love that event, but I wish more people could go. the price point is a little steep.
Just remember, everybody, it's a tax write-off.
It is a tax write-off, but it's a hard. It's like you got, because it's, first of all, out of the gate, $2,000, right? Like between flight, hotel, and being there, actually probably more. Shoot, now that I think about it,
We are not accountants.
yeah, we're not accountants. We hire those people because they know what they're doing.
Booze,
Yeah,
more booze.
Bears, Battlestar Galactica on DVD.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, Maker Camp this year is expensive too. I mean, you guys have to realize I'm like about as northwest as you can get without being in Canada or the ocean. So flying to New York is expensive.
Get it. I can't even fly to see these guys without a layover.
Have you thought about taking a bus?
You can fly to see us, Pete. You just have to fly out of LaGuardia.
18 hours on Route 80 to see you guys.
No, you just have to
would be
go
awful.
into the city.
Would it be worth it at that point? 18 hours?
It's not.
It's not worth a $47 Spirit Airlines flight.
It's literally, for me to like go to LaGuardia, I have to go through like 2 different tolls through Manhattan to there. That's where they're flying in, by the way, for Maker Camp.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the 2 of them.
He's
plus
like,
the
oh,
trip.
those
Blend it.
$1.50
Fine.
tolls, they just really add up.
The toll divided by 3, that makes sense. Okay, that's fine. But for me to like fly out
$4.50.
and then park my car at LaGuardia to fly out direct into, I'll just fly out of Newark and whatever. I still got to make it out to Dan's, although now he's got help, so we'll see.
No.
We'll get into that. No, I don't think you need me.
Pete, I don't have help. I need Pete. Anyway,
Well, we're gonna get into more Jessisms.
Oh, geez.
It's actually Jess E. The E stands for extraordinary. So
ooh,
yeah, I thought you guys would like that. Yeah.
I like him.
yeah, that makes one person here.
Yeah.
I got one.
That makes one.
That's it, I'm on a
Finally.
ballot now. All right. So why don't we jump into another segment? I think honestly, I would love to know, Dan, what's on your bench?
What's on my bench?
Wait, let's make that louder again.
Why does this
Peter,
happen every single
every week.
time?
Because it's, you know what? Maybe I
We're
like
new at this.
twice.
What's on my bench?
We're gonna do a quick what's on the bench because Dan is very cool. Dan's like a father when he texts you and you're like, "Hey, I'm pregnant," and he gives you a thumbs up on the text. Like that's Dan. So we're like, "Hey, Dan, how was the first day with your new employee?" And he's like, "My back hurts." Details.
I mean, that's accurate though. It's
So
not,
Dan, what's on your bench, Grandpa?
a lot of stuff.
Oh my God, I'm gonna punch you in.
Suddenly parking that car at LaGuardia doesn't seem like that big a deal, huh?
I'm gonna fly.
I'm living in the same city.
I'm gonna fly to Omaha just to punch you in the face and then stay with Braden.
That's fine. It just means I don't have to clean the house.
You cleaned the house last time?
Yeah.
Dan, what's on your bench?
He just lays on the floor.
Just the same old. Everything is Etsy, blah blah blah. But what Pete wants to hear about is I have a new helper. I don't want to say the E word, but I have a new helper.
Ewok?
Huh?
An Ewok?
Yeah, Ewok is exactly what I was thinking.
That's the E
Ewok.
word.
My new helper, his name is, I don't know if I can say this. Sutton? Can I say Sutton?
Schmutton.
Not if we don't want to get demonetized in the United States.
What?
It's Braden's illegitimate sister.
Or brother, for that matter. It's Braden's brother.
Did you just
It's
assume
Braden's brother. We've got too many bits going on here. It's my
Right.
brother. I'm related to him. I saw him grow up.
Okay, so yeah. What could possibly go wrong in this situation? I feel like this could all come crashing down like horribly, and then Braden and I hate each other and the podcast comes to an end. But in the meantime, I have a great set of helping hands with me, which I'm very, very excited about. We got a lot done today, which was desperately needed. I think I got like 35 inserts done, and he resanded the tables that Braden sanded on Saturday night.
Whoa, shots
What the-
fired.
What the hell was that?
And he redid all the work that Braden did for hours.
For context, I was over there at midnight helping sand, so I don't know where this is coming from.
So wait, Dan, let me
I
get this straight.
appreciate it.
Someone that's never worked in a wood shop and has worked different jobs, now is in your wood shop, had to redo the work of someone called a, and I quote, woodworker.
Professional woodworker.
Oh, okay.
I have a lot of comments that I'm going to keep to myself right now because we're trying to keep this one tight.
Braden's literally
I want to know
I'm just messing
how
with
you guys got so much done. Like, were you just giving him really good direction?
I was giving him
Out?
directions. He was doing a lot of work. I'm gonna be honest, my back is still bothering me quite a bit.
Still rough on you?
Yes,
Your neck,
super.
your
I don't
back.
know what the heck's going on. But I was giving him a lot of directions and he was able to do exactly what I needed, without hesitation, without complaining. And he just kind of like knew what he was doing because he has worked with Braden in his shop. So I appreciate that.
Don't try and backpedal now.
I could say, hey, I need these tables resanded, so I need you to go from 80 to 220. And he knew exactly what I was talking about. So
Poor Braden's just getting beat up on this episode.
Yeah, good lord. Last
I
time I
love
connect
you.
last time I connect you with somebody to help you with your back.
I
He's
love
gonna-
Braden.
He's gonna come back to Sawdust Talk if you don't stop.
Yeah, Braden, you only have 2 more
Oh,
episodes and you
no.
make a wish.
So that feels pretty good. And yeah, backpedaling a little bit. Braden actually was kind enough to come over last Saturday evening. And he helped from like what time did you get over to my shop? Like 11 p.m. and
It was
you
like
stayed there till like
11 to
1?
1 or something like
Yeah.
that.
Appreciate it. That was a long night in my shop. I've been doing my best to get caught up, and I'm slowly crawling my way out of this hole that I've been in on Etsy. So
The good news is
it's feeling good. I'm feeling good.
we got to
It's
wrap up that night with a classic Dan and Braden mess
Taco Bell
about.
run.
Yeah.
Yes, Taco Bell run. Braden drove, not me, because
Dan
I
was-
had a few beers. throughout
Dan
the
was
day.
lubricated.
It was very lubricated.
Dan's ball screw had the oil applied to it.
Many times over.
Dan had 8 beers.
Mm,
Eight beers after dinner.
8 beers. Who has 8 beers?
So Dan,
Uh,
you went from like what 70 some orders to what are you at now?
59.
let's see. I could pull
Nice.
it up real quick. Etsy. I'm currently sitting at, so like as I get orders done, I get orders come in. So I'm at 60 right now.
Word flex.
So yeah.
Dan,
Which isn't it's not horrible. So what, last week I said I had 49 overdue. I got 31 overdue right now. So progress.
So here's
Progress.
my thing about Dan and his Etsy shop and me coming out to help. I can have Emma confirm this. This is a weekly conversation in our house after the podcast, or if she listens to the pod, or we just watch your stories. There's a conversation of, I got to go out there to help him. Like, this happens weekly in my home. I'm not saying this just for the sake of the podcast. Like, I'm constantly planning to come out to Dan's, but while I work for my day job, like, I couldn't have come out for more than like a weekend. And if I come out for the weekend, we're not getting just
Absolutely nothing.
like nothing done, right? So like don't worry about it. I just throw it in there because it's fun. Hey Jesse, you okay? So I said I
The
love
problem
you.
is he can only bleep himself. He can't
It's
do
fine.
anything
It's
else.
fine. But the problem has been like I need to come out to Dan's for 4 days minimum. There's the pre-party, 2 days of work, half a day of recovery, 1.5 days of work, 1 day of relaxing.
This is true.
Probably a get together. Like this is an actual thing. Like there's no way I can go to Nebraska and we don't have a meetup event.
Yes.
So 1 day's a wash. One day's
yeah.
completely a wash.
Yeah.
Half a day is a hangover somewhere. I know it already.
Braden wants to do a get together at his house. Nick wants to do a get together at his house. I don't want to do a get together. I've already held one, so
I'm
I'm
still
good.
gonna do it at your house.
it's not a get together. It's a work lunch.
So I just want you to know that my wife who also is doing
My wife.
our newborn, has greenlit the idea of I might be coming out to you the week or so after Maker Camp. I have until October
after?
30th. No, because
Okay.
September's still a little new. I don't want to leave her with a
I was thinking. I wasn't like, oh, after. I was thinking,
wow.
Pre-holiday, honestly, after Maker Camp is when you need it, because you're gonna come back and be like, I'm so behind, and like I'm gonna need.
well,
You're
my goal with my new helper, Sutton, is that we can get caught up on Etsy to where, like, as orders come in, I can get them done the next day. That would be amazing. And he's already shown interest in being like a cameraman and stuff like that. So to throw it back a little bit, I think it would be great if Sutton could become the next Isaiah. Do you remember Isaiah from way
Forget
back in the day?
Isaiah. Isaiah needs to be becoming a new Sutton. Am I right?
You understand what I'm saying?
I get what you're
right?
saying.
Yeah. So I'd like to start up, and I'm getting way ahead of myself here. I understand. I'd like to start up my YouTube channel again.
Only
I mean,
you.
I have a decent following over there. I got like 10,000 subs, which isn't much, but it's a good start and it's monetized. So something needs to happen over there. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about the future and the possibilities.
After just one day with you and Sutton, I talked to Emma and I'm like, I don't know if I need to come out there. They might get caught up.
You still need to. You need to come help Braden at least.
Yeah, I need an organized, like a type A personality to come look at my shop.
Type A furniture.
But I'm excited, and as much crap as I've given Braden this episode, he knows I love him and I appreciate him. Pitching his brother my way, I guess. He doesn't own his brother, so whatever. That's weird.
Listen, I just wanted to free up my weekends.
Okay, so two things. First of all, Pete, if you need to go help Dan, you just fly me out. I'll hang out with Juniper and Emma.
There you go.
Can stay there for as long as you want. I will take all the baby snuggles. I will get up and change diapers at night.
What?
We're already coordinating with her mom. Her mom's gonna fly in when I fly out, so that I'm not leaving her solo. Dan, do you realize that there's
The level of coordination here?
people displacing themselves from two separate states? Wow. Help you with your Etsy orders. I just want you to know the level of, and you won't tell me how much you got done with your guy and you.
I just told you. I know,
but I had to wait till the podcast. We're in 3 different group chats.
Technically, the second you get Nick and Braden involved,
didn't
it's 3 states that get displaced.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but I just want baby snuggles.
you're
gonna get those at Maker Camp.
No,
sure.
Actually, I will say this now. There's gonna be a sticker on a stroller that'll say
"No touchy."
Baby bites, and we go,
Baby bites.
Does she actually bite? You're like, you really want to test it? And be like, no, because here, like, we're gonna keep her in a stroller in a wrap because like I love you all out there. I'll take all the hugs. Not touching my baby.
We're all filthy animals.
Because
Pete, tell us exactly how you feel about the Maker community.
No, she's getting her first vaccination the Thursday when you guys are here. We're going to get her vaccinations, and like,
all right, that's
she's
fair.
not going to be actually like protected for a month. I'm just trying to be safe. That's all it is. You guys,
the fact that she's getting vaccinated when we come in feels a little pointed.
We're talking high-end club rules, high-end strip clubs. Look, don't touch. If you touch, I twist your wrist. That's it.
Okay,
are we going to be allowed to touch the baby?
You're fine. You'll be at the house. I'll have to put up with it.
I don't want to touch your baby. I'm not a fan of babies.
I'm gonna tell you right now that my daughter is coming to Maker Camp and she is a baby hog. So I mean it could work in your favor because she is like the best babysitter ever.
No, don't sit on the baby. It's a new baby.
She's gonna freak out when she sees a baby. She's gonna be like, I need to snuggle that baby. I need to hold that baby.
I mean,
she's gonna be like, go have fun. I'll take care of the baby.
I'm taking a page out of Nick Pachi's book because they're at Maker Camp with like newborns and under 1 year.
They got like the Pachis have like 8 kids.
2, but okay.
Oh, okay.
It
Where
feels
did
like,
the other ones come from?
first, to be honest, it's boys, so it feels like 8. You know, that's just how they are. But yeah, no, they like he just had his kids there, and it was a great thing. And whatever, they're all bundled up, and that's how we're gonna approach it. We're gonna try to bring her. Hopefully, she's gonna be fine. If she cries a lot, then one of us is gonna be MIA once in a while. That's all it is.
It's a good thing we have the Airbnb, and you can go back and be comfortable.
Exactly. But anyways, enough about that. Dan, do you have anything else for your?
No, I'm gonna pitch it to Jessie. What's on your bench, Jessie?
What's on my bench? It's more like what's in my basement, and that's that. My
basement.
What's on my bench is a metaphor for what's going on in your life.
What's going on in my life? I have a almost 11-year-old daughter
Good
who
Lord.
has shared a room with her brother by choice. But now she is getting to the point where she's like, I don't want to do that anymore. And so we need to build a bedroom. So the Beard's been hard at work in the basement, doing some framing. He's going to do some electrical this weekend to get to the point where I can do more drywall. Yay. Love that for me.
Favorite. Oh.
On my actual workbench, I have something I need to film, and it is something I won from Muck, which is a Gershner toolbox that I have not unveiled yet. And
I'm going to be honest, I have no idea what that is.
I'll tell you when you're older.
Look it up, Gershner.
I'll just do it.
Gershner toolboxes. Oh. They're all wood, beautiful. It's like artwork.
Like a Gerber toolbox, like the First toolbox.
Gershner.
Gershner. Oh.
By the way, how many of these do you have laying around?
How did you get those?
Oh, I know some people. I have muck bucks in my house.
How did you get muck bucks?
I know a guy.
Gershner. Gerstner.
Yeah. He went through an international trader.
What team is this?
They weren't even all there.
I know, but the team was still there.
Oh, is that the Making It people?
So
the Making Fun? Sorry.
This was supposed to be Paul Jackman for some reason.
It doesn't even look like him.
This looks more like me than anything.
Yeah.
That's an artist's interpretation of Paul Jackman, but from a guy that just happened to see him in the streets one time.
Yeah, the sexiest one is right here.
The
Grozinator.
And he looks bigger in that picture than he is in person.
Yeah, he looks super muscular in that picture for some reason.
Paul
going
looks
on?
really small, and Braz looks really voluptuous.
Voluptuous. That's a word.
It was I think it was there were several people that couldn't make it. Jimmy couldn't make it.
I couldn't make it.
I wasn't invited.
I also couldn't make it. I got invited.
Pat Lap had something come up. The reasons they didn't come were very important. But yeah, it would have been fun to see all the guys.
Yeah, it sounded like it was fun. It looked like it was fun. I had FOMO for sure watching all the Instagram.
I missed out.
Business.
So what else is going on? Basement reno, and what else?
Basement reno, new job. I have content to film. I actually bought a welder a couple months ago, and I haven't posted content about that yet, so I need to do that.
Timu.
Hey.
At least the best part is when you buy a tool, you don't owe them content.
Was it a Timu welder?
No, I bought a Lincoln.
Oh, nice.
I've wanted one forever. And
based in Nebraska.
Yeah, I finally just took the
Are they those? Yeah, Lincoln, Nebraska. That's just what their name from.
I didn't realize that Lincoln was in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yeah, Lincoln's in Lincoln, Nebraska. It's also where Abraham Lincoln was named for.
Oh,
because while he was born in
Idaho. Now he's lying. Okay, Jessie, back to you. Bought a Lincoln welder.
Yeah, I posted something today to close friends and I was just like, I am bummed because I've been so busy with other things that I haven't been in the shop a lot lately and I haven't been posting a lot of content. But this fall's crazy. I'm going into school year with two kids. I'm coaching volleyball this fall. My daughter is going into AAU basketball for the first time.
You.
It's gonna be insane, but hopefully being able to work from home in a sense
Be nice.
will open up a
Work.
little bit more time to post content, and I just need to get a schedule down.
How long have you been doing the new job now?
I mean, I started this month, but I haven't done a whole lot yet. I got set up with, my electronics and stuff so I can do stuff from home and not using my own technology. So that's cool. But
Do
aside
you
from
need
that,
do you need a mailbox at your house to do your job?
no,
Just email box.
Just
Oh,
email.
electronic mail. Got
Yeah.
it.
I have to use Outlook. I hate Outlook.
Oh,
Ew.
I
Yeah.
know.
disgusting.
Well, that was the thing. The whole company uses like PC, like tablets.
Oh, yuck.
And I'm like,
Oh.
I don't do that. Like I'm a Mac girl. So
Yeah,
they
you're smart.
Content creator.
they hooked me up with an iPad with a magic keyboard, magic mouse, and I'm like, okay, cool. I can work with that.
Nice.
So
A magic mic.
Great movie.
is there magic? Oh, magic.
Don't listen to him. Don't.
Just kidding.
Oh, speaking of magic, Mike, Braden, what's going on with you?
Well, speaking of Magic Mike, the abs are coming in great.
Fantastic.
Don't show your map. Show your work.
They're coming in from Temu. So just waiting. Didn't have local delivery. I had a week of closure and I enjoyed that. Today I got the cornhole boards out. I recently changed my process. I just switched from vinyl wraps on cornhole boards to UV printed tops. Let me tell you, oh my Lord, I'll never go back. UV printed tops are stunning, which feels
What?
weird to talk about just like a plywood piece of wood is stunning.
Does it feel different? Like, can you go into a little bit more detail there?
So,
Just-
okay.
It slides better or what?
So the technology is there are printers, and it's like a flatbed printer where you can put plywood and probably a bunch of other things too, but for my purposes they put the plywood up and it's a printer and it literally prints ink directly onto the plywood. So it's
not going to peel off over time.
Correct. It is printed on and then it is UV finished, so like UV locks it in.
Right.
And then on top of that, then they put a UV stable clear coat on it, and it's like 5 or 6 coats of a outdoor rated clear coat. And they are just, I'm not like a finish guy. Like I don't like working with finish. I hate working with stain. I don't like paint. I could never get them as like consistently smooth as these tops came. So, I don't feel bad about it. I've switched a lot of my manual time of cutting out a 6-inch hole in these to make the tops myself. I've offloaded that part of my process, and just it's allowing me to focus more time on like the design side of that project. And then they show up and I put together my cornhole boards like normal. And
Bless you.
you okay?
Pro
you
move.
You make it? That's a sign of a real podcaster.
Right? Sorry.
It's good if you mute, but then if 3 other hosts recognize that you sneezed, it ruins it.
It was so smooth, but thanks for ruining that for me.
We just want everybody to know how smooth it was.
Way to
Everyone's like,
Braden.
bless you. And they're like, what? Bless you what?
So I just got those out, and you know that a project went well This guy actually, he bought the first set of cornhole boards that I ever sold. And let me tell you, I liked that. Like, they were good boards. Like, I did a good job, but compared to what I'm doing now, like, they were garbage. They were firewood. And so just having him show up and pick these boards up and just be like wowed at how much nicer they were was really something. In fact, he told me that because he takes some tailgating to Husker games, because that's all you do on Saturdays in the fall here.
True.
And he was telling me, he's like, dude, I get people that want to buy my old set of cornhole boards all the time. They constantly trying to find, either buy them off me or figure out where they can get them. Can you save me some time and just put your information on the board so that people can see them? And so I used Dan's laser pecker laser, and I put a QR code to my website right on the spacers for the legs.
That's an actual tool, not a euphemism.
That is a real tool that you can purchase. And then, ladies. But yeah, so I mean, it makes me feel good. Somebody wanted my information to be readily accessible, and was just having him be as excited about these boards was a lot of fun. I also wrapped up the last laser job for that big company that I do all that corporate branding for. They got the last of the 380 boxes out of my shop, which wasn't as big a deal when the boxes were 4 inches by 3 inches by 2 inches, like that sort of size. When they're 10 by 10 by 8 or 5, and then 8 by 8 by 3, they take up so much space. I literally had a mountain of crates, or boxes of boxes. They were taking up my whole shop. So I just feel like going out there and spreading my arms and just spinning around in circles now.
On boxes.
Just stacks on stacks of boxes.
I know what you're talking about, because one of the things I had your brother do today was help me clean my shop. And by help, I mean do. And I can actually move around better now, because it was awful in there. You saw how much I had laying around, and it's actually nice.
We've all seen.
First text from my brother after he left Dan's. Good Lord.
That tracks.
True story. I was like, actually, first thing we're going to do is we're going to clean up a little bit. And he looked around and he goes, you got any dust masks? I was like, let's go to
You definitely
Menards.
do, because you've gotten a lot of the same sponsorships as me.
Couldn't find them. So we went to Menards. I got in some N95s.
They were packed full of dust anyway. It's not like they would have been any good.
True.
And
I had some RZ masks. I couldn't find any of them.
For the amount of dust that could be in Dan's shop. You need a respirator.
I have respirators. He didn't. He wasn't.
Did you give him a respirator?
He wasn't interested. We got him at N95.
Well, he picked up the respirator mask and did this. And
true.
8 layers of sawdust all came out of it anyway. He was like,
true.
I'll just do. You got a piece of paper and some masking tape.
When I come out there, I'm bringing my own PPE.
You might want to,
baby.
You can use my toilet for your PP.
I'm gonna bring my whole the peak safety respirator, the positive air thing.
You should wear it.
Do with that? I gave that away.
Yeah.
You should wear that on the plane. Just see what happens.
I need it. I'm a bubble boy, and I'm outside of my bubble for the first time.
Yellow dish gloves and everything. Just, I'm here for my flight. So I got the boxes out, and then I'll keep things quick because Dan just went on.
I'm sorry.
I am recording some content. I have a new product that I'm about to launch that Pete, you helped me with, and I'm real excited about it. It's a 3D printed product. I think that there's
you kept me out of the loop on this.
Stay in your lane.
I'm sorry, Dan. I did not take advantage of your 3D expertise, your 3D modeling expertise.
Speaking of which, can we go back to my what's on the bench? I've been 3D printing, so
it's your
He's a 3D printer boy. He's been
go ahead. I'm sorry.
For all of hours.
Yeah. He it came back into his site when I dropped it back off after running it.
That's exactly
running it more in 1 week than he ran it the year he's had it.
I think your daughter has more hours on it than you do.
Oh yeah.
Not now.
I got one more hour.
But yeah, so I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to fill a niche that I think I've found, which has always been like the biggest problem for me is, God, I want to sell stuff to makers, but I can never find the niche of like, oh, that thing doesn't already exist. So I'm real excited about this one, but details, I got to get the patent pending first.
Oh, wow. I'm getting deep on this. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what I've been working on. Peter?
I'm gonna keep it slight tight. So I've just been catching up on. I have a couple pieces of branded content for some pieces that were sent to me. So I'm getting caught up on that. Getting back in a groove of just doing daily content because I've kind of taken months off at this point of doing like actual content. So I'm getting caught up on that, trying to do daily stuff if I can. I feel bad doing throwaway posts sometimes, but just I'm trying to be consistent, trying to like get back in a groove of things because I don't know about you guys, but a lot of us blew up over a certain amount of time, and we've been at the same number for years. So it's kind of a bummer. So I'm trying to get back in a groove of things, and technically there's some like Instagram bonuses now going on, but they're just paying nothing. So whatever. I'm trying to see if I can grow that. Aside from that, I worked on I had some I redid my shed a couple weeks ago, and I pulled out all the white oak that I had in there. Sean Kirsch would be very excited about this. I used it. I won't use it for a real project. I'm using it for outdoor use where it's going to get beat up by the elements like it deserves because it's white oak and it's awful.
What the heck?
I know he really hates white oak because apparently it's trash. And I quote trash. Yeah.
Whoa, Jesse, come on.
So I used up all the white oak I had for these seats for basically these stools that I got off the side of the road because they were getting thrown out of a coffee shop and they're in great shape. Except the seats were plywood and they were completely delaminated because they left them outside. So I know how to make new seats. So I did that. And I'm like over engineering them because I want them to last for forever. So I'm finishing them with halcyon, getting them all, like sun protected. And I want them to last through the winter outside because I'm not storing these things inside. What am I, the president? Get out of here. And aside from that, by the way, I went to price out more white oak because I'm like, I want to make Paul Jackman's Adirondack chairs because I have the templates. White oak is more expensive than sapele.
That's typical.
Not here. Usually it would be like white oak was like trash wood 2 years ago. Now it's not. So I'm going to be making these chairs out of sapele probably, or mahogany, whichever one is cheaper.
Which is a beautiful wood, in my opinion.
Great. But they're like
mahogany.
in the $8 range where like a white oak is in the $11 to $13.
Oh gosh,
I know.
sapele and mahogany is $8?
Yes. I live in New Jersey where everyone hates you for woodworking.
I think I paid $3 something for sapele here.
I don't even remember that. Aside from that, I helped Keith out. Keith Johnson, KG Sawdust. I don't know if you guys heard.
No big deal. Name
NBD. Helped him out. He got the I forgot the name of it. Big gun, whatever. The table saw fence. That thing is nice. The one that you can put on he's got a saw stop. He put it on there, and it took us hours to get it installed. But
the big eye.
The big eye. Thank you. The big eye, and that thing is nice.
Nice.
First of all, it locks forward instead of down, so there's no that like big dong sticking off your table saw that you walk into once in a while.
Ugh. Like my titty handle?
Dude, I walked in, like the titty handle. I walked into that thing the other day full speed, and oh my god, I went straight to the ground. There's no walking away trying to walk it off. I went straight to the floor. It's rough when you walk into it when you don't think about it, but. Anyways, this thing it's dead on straight. It locks on the back.
Is that made by Harvey?
It's made by Harvey.
Okay.
It comes in L fence, which is really nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Right. So, if you're in the market, check that out. It's a bit of an install, but I think it's worth it. That thing's pretty badass. So that's pretty much it for my bench.
Little install, big eye.
Yes. Medium install, big eye. All right, why don't we rapid fire some of these questions because we got a
Please
lot.
and thank
Right?
you.
Pew, pew,
Yeah.
pew.
All right, let's get into it. And I'm going to play this,
Go, Black Betty, rambling.
which apparently means we play questions.
Oh, before we start with questions, I would
Oh.
like to clarify for Alex, just because we're not going to play your questions because there are so many this week does not mean you get to start over. These still count for next week too.
Count for next
True.
week. Also,
True.
Alex,
No more video bits.
But
No videos.
he didn't send in questions. He sent in videos,
Which
an
is
audio
great for an
podcast.
audio podcast.
which
I'll tell you what.
we all love because we watched them all. Because Braden's very evil and he's tracking you. But it's a little hard for the podcast, so we will play them, at least whatever ones have questions in them next week. But for now, actually, I think we should start with this one. I don't know who this one's from. They didn't leave a name. Let's listen to this.
Jessie, I don't have much time, but the community needs to know. Was Braden fired from Sawdust Talk for incriminating use of company funds? To put it bluntly, rumor has it that he was embezzling funds and funneling them into a large puzzle box acquisition. Can you substantiate these claims? Oh, I should have mentioned this sooner, but make sure he isn't listening. I think the lines may be tapped. I need to dip back into the shadows.
Jesse, can you confirm that, please?
So yeah, we never really talked about the whole Sawdust Talk AWP split with Mr. Braden here. Which was actually not even a bad thing. Like, I will say, I haven't really spoken about the swap publicly. We did send in. No, I mean, TJ and I sent in a video message or an audio message to you guys' first podcast where you announced Braden as a host. And it was just funny. It was just a funny thing. I'm so glad Alma was on that call because it was hilarious that she could translate his Spanish. Because do you guys remember?
Yes.
He was spouting off in Spanish. I didn't know what he said. But no,
Very inappropriate, all of it.
I mean, it was fine. It was funny. No, but I mean, Braden coming to AWP was like very natural. I was super sad because I mean, he did do so much for Sawdust Talk. He was kind of like the backbone of the show for a while there, during transition time. But I mean, he's got his Oma Bros, and you guys are like his best friends over here. So, I mean, it just fits. He fits. It works. And not only that, but when we did make the transition, he was awesome. I took on a lot of the things that Braden was doing over at Sawdust Talk, and
Which was nothing.
everyone's so mean to you over here. Why did you come here, Braden?
I have no idea, but here's the thing. Everybody's mean to me everywhere. It's just a constant flurry of mean.
That's not true.
Because he makes more money here. We actually break even.
Well, that's good for you. I'm happy for you about that.
I was going to say, they talk about illicit use of funds like there's like enough funds for there to be multiple. That plural is not necessary.
The word fun is in it.
No, but on a serious note, Braden has always been like one phone call away for me, one text away. I can't tell you guys how many times I've been like, Braden, help me with this. Braden, can you like fill in here? Braden, can you help me figure this out? And he's on top of it every time. So, I mean, he's still a really good friend of mine. I mean, you guys all are. So, but I love AWP. I love Sawdust Talk. But yeah, podcasting life, it's a different beast.
Get into politics. That was the perfect answer.
We will not be doing that.
So now is the perfect time to tell you that we took him because it was like a hostile takeover. It's just one part of our plan to take down Sawdust Talk. Piece
Braden,
by piece.
blink
We're
twice if
expecting
you
you
need
guys to
help.
recover.
We're taking over.
Listen,
Yeah.
we already took out Craft Will Never Die.
They died.
I was gonna say it was ironically a hostile takeover, but also a hostile removal because I was definitely pushed out of Sawdust. We were within like 2 episodes of me not being there anyway because of a hostile takeover.
Oh, shut up.
Everybody was just pushing and pulling at the old Braidster.
He's got to go.
The
He's gotta go.
Braidster, get out of here with that.
Old Breezy.
Old Breezy. All right. Speaking of Old Breezy, next question's from Thomas from France.
Hey, sorry I couldn't leave a voicemail tonight, but I still have a question. What would a project you would absolutely refuse to make for a client, even if he accepted double the FU price? I don't know, maybe something like a huge oak door. All right, bye. Can someone sing my outro song? La da ti da 2DD2.
That's good. I'm gonna be quick on this one. Custom built-ins. I help Keith out all the time, and he does all these custom built-ins for people's homes. It seems like the absolute nightmare. Like, I want to build cool projects in my shop. If I have to go into your house to measure and remeasure and put into studs and like open up walls and do all this stuff, I'm not about it. I want nothing to do with custom installs in other people's homes, because also drywall sucks. It's never flat. It's never square. It's never straight. That's my no-go. Like, no matter what price somebody gives me, like, I'm not going to price out insurance. I'm not going to do that. I'm not installing in your house. Love you. Bye. Braden, what's your no-go?
Fairly similarly. And here's the thing. There's not a no-go. Like, end of the day, if the money that they're willing to pay gets high enough, I twill go. As seen by, I mean, you guys have been in the group chat all week. I went back and forth on this bathroom vanity, which in no way really interests me. I mean, end of the day, it's a cabinet for a bathroom, and I just wasn't interested. But, you know, do I make the money? Do I not make the money? It's not that hard, but it's not that interesting. So end of the day, I have found I am a sleut for the right number. So I don't know. I'm in. Like, let's just get it done. Dan?
There's not much that I would say no to, but I would say no to pieces that go against my principles. Like, if it was a themed piece of some sort, I'm trying to really watch where I'm going with this so I don't piss anybody off. If it was a themed piece, like if somebody wanted a certain like show piece to show off how they feel about a certain thing, like, and
Politics?
ISIS.
Tesla.
Whatever.
You guys are gonna get canceled.
Ford pickup trucks.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do it. I don't care what you're going to pay me. I wouldn't do it.
My email box says that there's plenty of jobs that you're willing to not do for any amount of money.
Yeah. Yeah. But also, I probably wouldn't do any more big giant oak doors. Thank you for stabbing me with that knife, Thomas, and twisting it. Jessie?
Staining maple.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
some
did
people are
a-
just animals.
I did that once. It was awful.
I did a record cabinet, and they had maple accents in their basement, so they wanted a maple top, but they wanted it stained. And I will tell you, I sanded that thing down to nothing 3 times. I did the preconditioner, I did pre-stain, all the things.
Maple just doesn't take stain. It's too tight grained. It's awful.
It's terrible. I hated
Yeah.
it so much. Like, I just wanted to sand it and finish it just natural, but that's not what they wanted. So
You have to dye maple. And I know it probably sounds like it's the same, but it's not the same. You got to dye maple and not stain it. It's
Yeah.
2 different things, believe it or not. Yeah. It's
You
awful.
have to dye the
I
maple
tried.
or you'll die inside.
That inside
I
of
was
it.
dying
I like
inside.
that.
Pop that on a t-shirt.
Good.
Jesus. All right, next one's from that's all of us, right? Y'all answered? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sarah's got 2 questions. Here's part 1.
Hey girlies, it's Sarah with Rosie's Woodshop. Super excited to listen to the episode with Jessie because she is so cool. Like, all the ducks, everything, so cool. Anyway, okay, so as you guys might know, I am converting my parents' garage into a little shop. I'm using like half of it because they keep a lot of stuff there to store. I have a scroll saw, bandsaw, chop saw, and lathe. How would you suggest I set it up? This might be kind of hard considering this is audio. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. And part of me just wants to like put everything on the edge of the perimeter and like have a work table in the middle. But yeah, cool. Thanks. Bye.
Ooh, good
Yeah,
question.
I'm 100% agree with her at the end. Put everything on the perimeter with a work/assembly table in the middle for sure.
So, by the way, that was a chop saw, bandsaw,
Bandsaw.
lathe, and scroll saw. Those are 4.
Correct.
So we were like 5, 7, 8. No, we were throwing out high numbers earlier. So
Wait, chop saw,
chop
scroll
saw,
saw,
scroll saw, bandsaw, and lathe.
no table saw.
Calm down. She'll get there eventually.
I
Why are you shaming her?
I'm not shaming.
You're gonna get
her.
canceled
I would
this way.
never shame, and we are gonna get canceled for any number of ways, but this won't be it.
Well, you guys were talking about like a flip table or something, but about 4 out of the 5 things she said you cannot put on a flip table.
No,
That's why that was funny.
I mean, not with that attitude, I guess. But
because right now she's moving into a new space. She can use I'm hearing a part of the garage. So I'm going to assume it's a 2-car, and maybe she can't use all of it.
right, she's just
Maybe-
gonna get 1 car of the 2-car.
Maybe she won't even get the full 1-car.
Ooh.
What does she do?
Find your outlets, put your stuff where it needs to go, and build around it.
Actually, that's a great freaking answer. Find your outlets, because most garages like 1 outlet, maybe
That's
2,
true.
or one of the in the ceiling, right? Like the worst spot.
That is a very good point.
Why do you have all those tools like screwed, lag bolted into the ceiling? Found the outlet. That's what Jesse said to do.
I hear it. All I'm gonna say is this: depending on where you're able to have it, if it's in the back of the shop, like away from the front door, the big garage door, use an L. Anytime you can take an L, you've got a big square or rectangle. Like you can take more space. If it's
Take
just
an L, like
you
take
can-
a loss.
no, like you can have like one wall or one section of the wall, and then the other section of the wall, like a 90-degree L, which means you can kind of occupy the space in between that L. If it's
I've been
just-
taking L's for
one
years.
straight
You
wall,
confuse me.
But if somebody's like, hey, you can take that one section of the flat wall by the front garage door, make another L. Make like the garage door is a wall. You can't attach to it, but you can put tools right up to it. So
Again, not with
yeah.
that attitude.
Yeah.
Scroll saw just
Well, you can't scroll saw on a ceiling. So I would say, like, first of all, the chop saw, you want a pretty good run so you can chop stuff on both sides, or have one that's rolling around on a cart. Check out Brad Rodriguez. He's got a ton of awesome files for chop saw carts, for scroll saw carts, like mobile carts, basically. So you can tuck everything up against the wall and take it out as you needed. I will say that for the lathe and the scroll saw, I would almost make one big floating table where the lathe is running along one edge and the scroll saw is along the other, because you want a little bit of weight behind those tools. You don't want them to roll around on you. So that's my only recommendation.
Jesse?
Oh, Jesse?
I was gonna say, like, from a girl's perspective and like setting up a kitchen, you want a triangle. So take your
Yeah,
3,
screw you and your L's.
your 3. Well, no, the L still works. You just take your 3 most used tools and put them in a triangle. So whatever you're going to use in the middle that needs to be mobile and have more space, put that in the middle. Chop saw on the edge, another tool on the other side. But yeah, you do it like a kitchen.
God, I've messed up so bad. I have no L's. I have no triangles. I just have chaos.
He just has ampersands all over.
Yeah, just infinity signs.
If you just take a pencil and scribble on a piece of paper, that's what I got.
Dan works. That's his work ethic. That's why he's so behind. But Dan, what's up? What do you think?
Yeah, I already went. I agree with her. I actually think that she should put tools on the perimeter, and then put an assembly table in the middle. However, I will amend my answer to make mobile what you can, so you can move stuff around as needed. That I think that's essential, especially in a smaller shop. I remember when I first got started, everything was on wheels, everything, and I can move everything around as needed. Because back in the day, I actually was able to move all my tools up against the back of the shop and still pull my truck into the shop when needed. Not that I can now, but
You
once upon a time.
cannot. Can
Yeah.
would your fire pit fit inside your shop?
It
Probably
could.
not.
Yeah, it's self-clearancing.
I think the shop could turn into a fire pit. It's like a transformation.
Yeah, but
Try hard enough.
it would take longer now that Sutton's cleared out a bunch of that sawdust.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think that an important thing to remember here is, I mean, you can do L's, you can do shapes, you can do triangles, you can do friggin' parallelograms. Who cares? That's all good advice. It does not matter what you do to set it up the first time. It is going to change. Don't mentally lock yourself into one configuration because it makes sense. Figure out what your workflow is and adjust to that. And that's right into where Dan was talking about putting everything on wheels. So just you don't have just one shot at this. It's not like you're bolting everything in the ground and you can't move it. So just be ready to move stuff around to fit your workflow. Thomas from Thomas Custom Woodworks also has a bunch of like wall mounted tables. He has a really cool chop saw like stand that he developed that has little flip out wings on it, so you can get a lot of that range that Pete was talking about too. So I don't know, just wing it. Just get in the space. Just kind of feel it out. Figure out what the vibe is, and adjust to that. But also, if you can get all of your tools onto a dry cleaner-esque apparatus where you can just like switch them out, definitely do that.
Exactly.
Like on the ceiling.
Yeah, yeah. Just hang them all from the ceiling, like the doors from Monsters Inc. Do
Oh my
that.
gosh, that'd be so cool.
But yeah.
All right. So next question from Sarah. There's one more.
Okay, I had to do another question or statement because you guys don't really have females on your podcast that much. I know you just had Ashley,
I take issue with
but
that.
shout out Jessie, you're so awesome. And I just want to know, how are you so cool? How did you get into everything you do? Because obviously I've been doing more woodworking, but like I would love to learn everything else that you do. So how did you get into it? Okay, thanks, bye.
I think I kind of already answered that one.
Kind of did.
Would agree.
Yeah, we had the
Yeah.
origin story.
How did you become so cool? You didn't answer that.
That's true.
I have like insane imposter syndrome, you guys. Like I can't even tell you. I think the one piece of advice that I could give to anybody coming into the maker community is to just be nice to people and be open. If you get a surge in followers, don't treat people differently. Always be willing to help out. Just be a good person.
Right
Be
on.
yourself. And if yourself isn't a good person, be better.
You
Yeah,
guys,
be better.
you guys better watch out. The second I get a surge in popularity, I'm going to be a huge pain to deal with.
Oh God.
You better not.
Oh, you're gonna be a huge pain?
Oh yeah,
Even
you
more
thought I
Even
was
more
bad.
so.
Yeah, you thought I was bad. Now just wait.
Jesus. All right. Next question's from Frank, Silent Mars.
Hey guys, this is Frank from Silent Mars Workshop. Wanted to reach out to you guys and see what you guys do for hold downs on your CNC projects. How do you hold it down? Nails, glue, screws? Just get what you think. Thanks. Bye.
Pete, you're such a CNC boy. What do you say?
It's been a while, but listen, CNC was my bread and butter. I know people make fun of me now because I have a CNC that's a table for my shop, but that was my bread and butter starting out in the 3D world or 2D world. So that was my first toy, and what I've used for years now is I'm either throwing brad nails into the project if I know I'm gonna clear it with a bit. Sometimes I don't, and that's okay. That's how we learn. Or I'm using 3D printed hold downs because when a bit goes through it, it feels nothing. It will not dull it. It just cuts it. It's softer than wood, and then you still have a sharp bit afterwards, and hopefully it still holds it down. And then anytime I can just cam it down, I use that. I actually find myself to not use the two-sided tape that often. Sometimes, but not that often. I feel like, Dan, that's your kind of main thing aside from the cam clamps, right?
I don't use two-sided tape.
I thought you
hardly
used...
ever.
Oh, never mind.
I did in the beginning. I did.
Oh, okay.
Like we went to Mike's shop. You remember Mike Coffee, right?
Yeah.
He used to do this podcast with us. We went to his shop way back in 2020, I think. And I saw his hold down system and it gave me a great idea. Well, it was basically the same thing. So I use T-track and inline clamps, inline Rockler T clamp. I can't remember exactly.
Well, actually, at the time, wasn't it the Armor Tool ones?
They were Armor Tool, but Rockler makes them too, and I'd rather give my money to Rockler.
Rockler ones, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I use those, and I'm gonna be honest. I go through the heads of those like quite a bit. I think we've talked about this in the past about how I get like 12 of those clamps a year. And Braden had a really good idea, as a matter of fact. Now that I'm 3D printing, he's talking about modeling the head, and so I can replace the heads on those clamps because they're like $35 a piece. But yeah, that's what I do 99% of the time. Sometimes I'll do like a very large piece and I'll use brad nail or something, but only if I know 100% that I'm not going to hit the nail. Jessie, you have a big old CNC?
I do. I typically when I'm doing stuff, I'm not gonna hit something, so I'll use. I mean, they're Harbor Freight like clamps. They're they're really shallow, and I can just pop them up under my spoil board and like hold the piece in place. However, to plug muck again, Maker's Ultimate Challenge, Phantom CNC was there, and we tried to utilize like every brand that was at the event to do our builds. So I made a cutting board and I had Phantom do the juice groove on my cutting board. And it was interesting. He had they have like a nail gun, but it's like composite nails.
Oh yeah, I've seen those.
They're like plastic. And
I've been wanting to get that for so long, but it's so pricey.
I know, but it's so cool. And you can hit those things with a bit and it's not going to do anything to your bit. Like I think it's worth the cost of the tool to not destroy your bits when you're running.
Bits are not cheap. This is true.
No, they're not. I mean, if you're sponsored and you get stuff for free, like, okay, fine. But at the same time, it's like, if you're in the middle of a project and you need that bit, like that sucks. But yeah, it's awesome because he put the board on there, put his little like, pieces around it, like bat. And afterwards, it's just like you pull it off. If they don't come out, you just.
Or you break them. You
just break them off.
Project from the side and it pops off.
Exactly.
Cool. Yeah, they're really
super
nice.
Cool.
Huh. Awesome.
Honestly, it's one of those things that like, you're always like, it's so pricey. But like, if you have it, it's what, like $170 for the gun, I think, which like it seems steep, but if you CNC enough, like,
yeah, if you're doing high volume, it's nothing.
Like, it kind of makes sense.
And it's cheaper than buying bits.
Yeah, cheaper than bits. That's the thing. It's like 4 bits and you're there.
Yeah.
So,
Bradon.
I use everything. I use double-sided tape sometimes, unless I have to pay for it, in which case I find something else. I've used T-track. I don't like the T-track. I keep telling myself to do what Dan does, and then I look at those $40 clamps. I'm like, nah, not today. Not today. I'll tell you what. I don't know what size brad nails you guys are using that you're like destroying these bits. my bits will plow through these brad
I'll
nails.
go through the bits.
I
Okay,
hate
I'll go
it.
through the nails, but you
I hear it.
You
I
the
hear it, and I feel bad, and then I just shut the door to the shop and I go inside and refill my Pepsi.
I can't hear it.
Yeah, if I can't hear it, it's not happening. But I need to get a composite nailer because I use brad nails on like everything, and I am a horrible judge of space and time.
It wasn't that long ago. I think we were talking on the podcast about how somebody developed a brad nail gun or a nail gun that shot wood nails.
Oh
You
yeah.
remember that?
Oh yeah, that was Van Helsing.
Ooh.
Shut up. That
Vampire
was
joke.
WFS or something. It wasn't.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was brad nails. I think they were like
They were just straight up nails.
they were like straight up like a 16 penny nail. Like because they had to be a certain size to actually go through the wood.
I think that might be a little overkill for what we're doing. CNC.
I will say, talking about like kind of expensive options though, I am like
Vacuum bed.
I am like one bad, sad, feel bad retail therapy day away from ordering the friggin' Airweights vacuum bed. Like I want a vacuum bed so bad. Because it just looks awesome.
That's all fine and dandy. And I could be talking out my butt here, but not only is it a big extra expense, but it's kind of loud. And
I'm already loud, so I'm not worried about that.
Takes a lot of power, doesn't it?
Find your plugs, Dan. Find your plugs.
I think it's vacuum or
vacuum beds typically take a lot of power.
But I mean, it's air compressors, so it should be 110.
Okay, I might be wrong.
I mean, it'll be the first time ever.
Vacuum compressors, they're loud.
Hey, you know what? Dust collection is loud, and that's running at the same exact time as my CNC. And also, have you run a CNC before through plywood? Like it's loud. Everything's loud.
I haven't in years.
Let's get some ISO tunes or cotton balls or something and plug up them.
I'm already living on the edge with the amount of noise I make. I feel like.
Ask Dan's neighbors; he'll tell you.
Exactly.
They're all deaf from 2 doors down.
Oh, you should have said 3 doors down. We could have made a joke.
I didn't want to. I knew it was there. Pete, what's next? Hit me with the good stuff.
Next one is from Mike from Broken Lead.
What's going on, AWP? It's Mike from the Broken Lead Woodworks. First off, congratulations, Pete and Emma, on your baby girl. Y'all becoming parents is fantastic. I know y'all are going to be fantastic parents. I love my sons most days until they don't listen and then they backtalk. But most days, I love my sons. Anywho, got a quick question for you. Been doing a lot of affiliation work here lately. Most of the domestic affiliations are great. I've done a few affiliates with foreign entities and have been stiffed. So my question is, have you been stiffed by a foreign brand? Have you signed up for the affiliation program, got the sale, know you got the sale, and then they turn around and not pay you for that sale? Anyway, hope y'all have a good one. We'll talk to you later.
Good question, Dan.
I try to stay away from the affiliates. I'd rather just get paid for the content and then be done with it and then receive product. I mean, I can't show off your product if I don't have the product, so that's kind of part of the deal. I always try to stay away from, making any sort of affiliate money other than like Amazon. I don't mind Amazon. I'll post an affiliate link in my stories and stuff, but so I don't have any experience with this.
What about I don't know, maybe a TikTok shop with commissions?
That's not an affiliate thing though, is it?
It is, technically.
I mean, I've sold 2 items on the TikTok shop. It was
gone.
But TikTok's good at paying you, so it's not an issue. Jessie, do you do a lot of affiliate work?
I have affiliate links, a couple that are decent. I've kind of moved away from taking on brands that I just don't know about. I will say one brand in particular that was kind of pushy with me that I didn't like. Should I not go into this? Is this too much?
I want to
You
hear
like
this
dirt?
more than anything on earth.
Bring the dirt.
Was Hodo.
Hodor.
Hodo tools were very pushy with wanting content. They don't share creator content on their page. They don't shout anybody out. They don't share in stories. They'll send you shit for free, but it's like pointless to me. Sorry.
That's a
all
lot of
I have to
brands,
say
though.
about that.
That's a lot of brands are they want product for content, and you know when we talk about this all the time though. Like when you're starting out, getting a product for free, you're like, I'll do a YouTube video.
Yeah,
Like,
it sounds
no.
great in the beginning.
I'll do a YouTube video for $50 thing. Like that's insane now.
Indestructible shoes. I would have worn my indestructible shoes and nothing else. I was so excited for that deal.
Yeah. No, I get it. But Braden, do you have any affiliates stuff?
I was working on a deal with a company that was based overseas, and it was so bad trying to literally just to work out the deal itself.
Oh yeah.
And communication is hard. And believe me, like I understand time zones. My day job is very based around time zones. Like I get it. You're going to respond to me at, 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to respond. There's that delay, 24 hours sort of delay. But when I was like getting ghosted for like a week at a time, and then they'd come back and act like nothing had happened. Like the communication was so bad. I just basically said like, look, not only am I not interested in partnering, I'm not interested in your product. I'm finding another vendor, like that sort of thing. And I just moved on. And it was with a laser company. So I went with a different laser company that's technically based overseas, but I didn't try and work out a deal with the with headquarters. I tried to work it out locally. So no, I've never done an affiliate, and I've never been stiffed because I couldn't even get them to go and commit to getting that far. Peter?
I'm part of many affiliates, and even more I say no to. Like this isn't as a flex. Like we just get offered so many. Like our emails are, even the podcast emails, flooded with random affiliate things. And honestly, if it's not a known brand, or if it's not through a TikTok or one of these other affiliate websites that is already established, it's not worth it. I don't want to have to sign up for another site for a potential percentage. Like you offering me just affiliate sales, that's nothing. And I'll give the example of like Ben Myers. Ben Myers could have worked with OM Tech on several things. He has a couple of OM Tech machines that he bought on Amazon because the Amazon affiliates paid better than what he was going to get from OM Tech. And he also, I think it wasn't even a free machine. He had to like pay for the machine. So he was just like, oh, screw it. I'm just going to make my own thing. I owe you no content, and I get affiliate stuff off the videos I did. And it paid for itself multiple times over, and some people.
At a price.
What was that?
At a price.
Yeah. And then like,
and he can say whatever he wants because he's not tied to the brand.
Like Glowforge, I'll never forget this. We did a class, or I took a class at Workbench Con on laser stuff. And I was like, oh, let me see what like other laser users are doing. The whole class was basically a pitch for Glowforge membership to sign up using their affiliate. And I was like, you got me. It wasn't like, it felt a little wrong because like that's how these companies are like promoting the product. Sometimes you push it because you get a $500 bonus from selling a machine or whatever. And the thing is, I don't perform well enough with affiliates, and I think the only people that truly make good money is you're either a huge account on Instagram or you have a YouTube channel. Otherwise, affiliates are not really paying you out. the way you make money on Instagram in most cases is your content blows up, which we haven't seen in a while. It's kind of been a little, maybe that's just me, and we all talked about it earlier. Or the other thing is, hey, here's our tool. Here's $600. We want you to make a reel for this. Cool.
Yes.
Okay. Done. Like that. Okay. I'll do that because you're paying me, and the product isn't even like, I don't have to negotiate the product. It's part of the deal. If there's money involved, you're paying me. And again, I don't have that many of these. And sometimes, like, even like full transparency, to deal with Laguna, they sent me that roller conveyor thing. They wanted 2 reels for it, but I've had a relationship with Laguna where I've made off like a bandit in the past, and sometimes they haven't. So it's kind of a back and forth. Sometimes I make money, sometimes I really don't make money, like on this one. Like, I didn't need this conveyor belt thing. It's really useful, and it's going to replace like two tools in my shop, but I'm not getting paid anything for it. Someone actually asked me for my affiliate, and I'm like, just message them, tell them you bought it because of me, So affiliates are tough, and I think cash in hand beats affiliates every time.
But I'm sure there's people out there that would argue the other way. I'm sure.
Absolutely.
There are people out there killing it with affiliate sales.
Well, and I mean, we've got a perfect example of somebody not killing it with affiliate sales because the brand backed off their deal. So,
so the argument could be said either way as well.
We have affiliate sales through our podcast, like the stuff we promote.
Yeah,
I'll tell you guys, we make ones or tens of dollars.
But I mean, here's the thing: like, I do okay with like my Surf Prep affiliate, but again, that's not an overseas company, so I'm not worried about Surf Prep stiffing me. So I don't know. It's kind of a 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. Like, some people do really well with affiliates and some people don't. So figure out what works for you, and don't work with companies that you don't trust to not pay you. Like, that's the thing. You just got to be comfortable with the deal.
Don't take every opportunity.
Yeah.
I think it also like depends on your audience trusting like what you do and what tools you use. There's tons of accounts out there that are like total affiliate sales, and it's like every post is like, buy this, buy this, buy this. I'm going to push this product, and people get sick of that. So, I mean, but also on the other hand, if you are somebody that's looking to purchase something and somebody has an affiliate code, go use their affiliate code. Like, if you're going to buy the tool or buy the product anyways, like, go find someone you like and you trust and use their code and, give them a little pushback.
That's a great way to pay it forward too. Like, oh, I like this person. I know they use Total Boat. I'm going to use their code.
Exactly. Speaking
of which, make sure that you use code DDWW at indestructible super duper flipflops.com.
Oh, I wish.
Indestructible flip-flops. All right. Last but not least, we're going to play this question from Jeff from Maker's Way, and then we're going to announce the winners of the Maker Camp ticket.
That's right. If you weren't alive.
El Jefe's question.
You know the voice I want. The sweetest, juiciest voice. What's up, my beautiful baby Bubbas and Big City Jess? You may not have heard, but Maker Camp is coming up soon, and I can't wait to give each one of you a big ol' mouth hug. Since you brought up Maker Camp, here's my cue for your sweet A's. Is there a random thing or knick-knack you always pack, regardless of where you're traveling? I'm not talking about regular stuff like a toothbrush or an extra pair of undies in case of an accident. For example, I always pack swim trunks, no matter what time of year or where I'm going, just in case there's a lake around or a pool we can break into. Or something like Braden's security blankie, something that everyone doesn't always pack. What's a must pack for you guys? Or
that is a fantastic question, especially going to Maker Camp. Mine's quick. I already know it. It's a tumbler. Like, bring an insulated tumbler for whatever drink you have, because you can get a drink at the bar. You can just put it in there. You can make your own drinks. I will tell you this. In the past, I bought drinks at the bar at Workbench Con. This last year, They were outrageously priced.
Outrageous.
Outrageously priced. I bought
Outrageous.
one old fashioned for $20-something. That was the only drink I bought the entire weekend. I would go up to the room. I would make a bourbon and something, or just straight up bourbon and ice in my cup. And that's the tumbler I walked around with all night, and just would like, just sip a little bit, just touch a little once it hits the lips. That's it.
Just little top off.
And just coast on that all night. I didn't buy a single dang drink the entire time. And if I don't want alcoholic, I would put soda or something else in there. A tumbler, and especially for Maker Camp, also recommend that. And if you're a canned beer drinker person, a koozie, like a good Yeti insulated koozie for your beer. I think it's great.
What if you drink the beers too fast? I mean, the koozie is unnecessary.
Just bring the wonton soup buckets, Dan. We'll get you your beer. Don't worry.
Yeah, total boat cups. Dan, what would you say is a must bring?
Total beer, baby.
Lately, my must bring thing is my CPAP.
CPAP?
That's a must, because everybody that I stay with says you have to bring it.
You're dying, Dan.
You don't get to stay with us.
It's not because you keep us awake, Dan. It's because you die. Like you don't like have trouble breathing. We listen to you die. I was haunted by it.
And okay, this year I'll be sure to be bringing my boots to Maker Camp. Definitely. After
boots with a fur.
Yeah,
after last year's debacle with the rain. Bringing boots, baby. Jessie, do you have a knick-knack or a paddywhack that you bring? Something that you have to bring?
Oh my gosh. I don't know that I have something. I feel like I overpack for everything. And then I always kick myself because I bring stuff home, and even if I bring stuff to give away, like shirts or knickknacks or whatever, I always end up coming home with more than I came with. So maker events, I try to pack less. Maker Camp though, I did buy waterproof boots last year, and I was really happy that I did. So I will definitely be bringing those again this year, just in case. I hope it's not a monsoon like it was last year, though, or flood.
Fingers crossed.
Braden.
But it'll still be fun.
I'm like Jeff. I always have a swimsuit in my bag. I've got a swimsuit, and I have a full, like, the starter kit or like the main deck of Cards Against Humanity. I travel with it every single time I travel. And
Why am I just learning this? What we could have played so many games of Cards Against Humanity.
We can, and we can in like 5 weeks. It is always, I travel with it, and I picked it up the first time I started traveling for my day job, because I used to travel once or twice a month. I'd put on these big events for nurses like all over the country. So I was literally going coast to coast all the time, and it was such an easy thing because for those work events, it was like Maker Camp but for nurses. Like I was Maker Camp putting on that type of event for them, and you'd hit a point where it's kind of the end of the evening, you're at a hotel bar or something like that, and it's just such an easy way to get everybody like comfortable with each other that I just always have it with me, because you know what, end of the day, good old game of Cards Against Humanity. It's just a real fun way to just learn some stuff about your friends.
Interesting.
Also, if all else fails, breakaway pants. Assless pants.
I thought that he was asking what we packed. I wear those.
Doesn't on flight.
Yeah. You don't ever want to get caught on a flight and not be able to break away your pants.
Well, speaking of breaking away pants, Dan, can you tell us our two winners that we picked during the pre-show of the 2 tickets for Maker Camp? We're going to be joining us in our assless chaps.
Who called in that last question?
Jeff El Jefe from the Makers Hue.
Believe it or not, he was one of the winners, and that was not planned. Jeff Hinkey from Maker's Way was one of our winners. He's going to Maker Camp, and our other winner is Josh Friedrich from 507 Woodworks.
Woo!
Thanks for using our affiliate codes, guys.
Congratulations, boys.
Just kidding. It was totally legit.
I can't wait. It's going to be so fun. It can't get here fast enough.
I'm so stoked. It's 6 weeks away.
If somebody say didn't win this ticket, but they wanted to win a ticket, I wonder, are there any other opportunities anywhere?
I don't know. Well, you can buy it by September 1st for the discounted rate. If you don't buy it by, we told everyone last week. If you're listening to this, you kind of missed out. We told you last week. By September 1st, you can get at the lower rate, and it goes up $60 starting.
This podcast comes out for the general public on the 1st.
I know, but we told them last week. So if they're listening to this, I'm sorry, guys. I love you, but you didn't listen last week.
This will teach
on your hands.
This will teach you guys.
If you're a patron, yes.
This will teach you guys to sign up to be a patron.
Another reason
this is a hard lesson that you're gonna have to learn today.
We're just teaching hard lessons. That's it. Well, huge shout out to Hamilton Dilbeck with CNC with me. Make sure to check out Make Timberfest, and Make Timber's coming up just in a week. Actually, less than it's like 2 days. Oh my god, it's 2 days. Jeez, yeah. I'm not ready for that. But that's coming up. Next week, we're going to announce all the goodies, the special event items that they're going to have. Go check out their website, cncwithme.com, and sign up today. And if you sign up for the annual pass, you will get 3 months for free. And I want to give a huge shout out to our guest this week, Jessie. Thank you so much for joining us. You've been amazing. Thank you for letting us get to know you, or our audience to get to know you, and answer some of these questions from all these weird people that call in every week.
Yes.
Thanks for having me. I will also say that if you head over to Sawdust Talk podcast,
mute her.
We will also be giving away a ticket to Maker Camp.
You are? Okay.
So
I think that's what Braden was trying to allude to.
I know, but you guys were talking. I didn't want to talk over you. I mean, come on. I'm a podcaster too. I know how this works. Come hang out on Sawdust Talk though, and guys can find out how you can win a ticket to Maker Camp this year.
When is that?
Maker Camp is in October.
No, the
Sawdust Talk.
Sawdust Talk.
When can we go listen and possibly win a ticket to
Maker
Camp?
If I'm new to it, how do I listen?
You can go to Sawdust Talk on Instagram, and we film live on Wednesdays at 9 Central.
Nice. When are you drawing the ticket winner? Do you know?
That's a good question. You'll have to come to Sawdust Talk to find out.
All right. I like
the week before Maker Camp.
It'll be within the next 2 weeks. I'll tell you that.
Right on.
Sounds awesome.
Awesome.
It's clickbait.
Yeah,
I like it.
I get it.
TJ's going to be dropping thirst traps for the next
thirst trap, yeah.
All right, guys. So if you want to help us out financially, we already alluded to this a little bit. You can go over to patreon.com/anotherwoodshop podcast and get signed up over there. We can't do this little shindig without your support, and we appreciate everybody who helps us out.
Namaste. Much thanks.
And with that, I think we're gonna call it a night. Call it a day.
I'll call it a night.
Oh, I thought this was just intermission.
No. I gotta go to bed. Me too. I've been awake too long.
My wife's been feeding our baby and trying to calm her down for like 45 minutes, so I'm gonna have to go step in.
All right.
The number one parent has to go help out. I got it. I get it.
Well, we'll see you guys next time.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.